everybody, Horfade here. Welcome back to Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. Last time, we did the 5th chapter investigation, and we didn't know who it was and who the body actually was until the end. And now we know it's Meguri Kasaba's dead, and we just need to figure out who did it. We also had 2 new skills. We got Envious Influence, which I don't think I'll use. And Vocabulary, what does it do? Increases bullet capacity. That'd be nice if I had more SP. I'm gonna just keep what I have. I wish I had more SP, but still. Let's just start this because this trial I might actually split into 2 parts. Not necessarily because I don't know yet. I'll figure it out in editing. There's a spot where I think I might split up, but for now I don't know until I go into editing. So I won't know until I edit this. Yay!
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
So yeah,
if you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko. There's no other explanation.
Hero?
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No! That's a ghost!
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology.
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
I know, right?
Okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
They have to start you off easy, I guess.
Her traits?
In case it's been a while since you played with the last chapter. One born trait Kyoko that doesn't belong to her is her gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh! You know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
Oh my god, Hero!
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us.
Are you people trying to understanding why I don't like Hero? Oh my god! I fucking hate this character. Stuck here in the case won't move forward. God. I fucking hate this character. Oh my god, I hate you, Hero. Ay, ay, ay.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
I'm a ghost, interesting.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is
I know, right?
absolutely Kyoko.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
I know! I fucking agree, Byakuya! If the body isn't Kyoko's, I know I can prove it. Yeah, but it should be so fucking obvious.
Okay.
Oh my god!
They got burnt
I
up.
get that they want to ease you back into the fucking game, but god damn, this is so fucking stupid. Just take it and move the fuck on!
No. There's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
I want to strangle you.
If anyone doesn't know women,
I hate you, Hero.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should
It should have been obvious. She's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
For anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Oh, god damn it.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
We need to find out if the victim was before we can do anything else.
If Kyoko really...
Then who died?
There's gotta be... I don't think so. And there wasn't any description... Well, if we can't identify the body...
No, that's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
What? For real? If you're lying, you'll die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
Ew, what the fuck?
Being stupid.
Oh my god.
Ignore them, Makoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Oh yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Is this a dog? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
If you compare tattoo our information we had to the victim's identity should become clear.
I got it! The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
Anything that represents Fenrir is a Hangman's Gambit that we really didn't need. Because this is the easiest Hangman's Gambit in the whole fucking game, I swear to god. Like, jeez, really? Like, do we really need this Hangman's Gambit?
Now I understand.
This is so fucking easy, god.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf beast. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. Then that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf, which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What? Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool-ass trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place. After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
Yep.
All it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Makoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
And who was she? Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed.
Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us, just another participant.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay. We're in the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this. No matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
Okay.
I have officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big old brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Who did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects. I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Makoto? Who the evidence points to?
Oh yeah, tell Makoto. Just help and convict yourself, Makoto. Makoto and Kyoko.
Got it! You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Makoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
exactly so.
So the only suspect now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't understand, so I have to clear my name.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want, somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at... Well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
The one who saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
What time did the body discovered? 9.
A gun! The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
Time for all the time shit! Yay! This'll be fun. Yeah. She went to go get it at 9.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
Murder between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m. Not an alibi from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Looks like the game has begun. Can't provide an alibi for that period. Then I just proved the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Makoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock to 7:30.
That's... more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Makoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
It did take place in garden, right? If I remember, something happened there in the morning at a certain time.
We've established a time. It took place somewhere between 9 o'clock. Yep. And
Yeah, from to 7:30.
Shoot!
We've established a time. It took
Place somewhere between.
Wrong thing! Wrong thing! Fuck! Brain! God damn it! Wrong time! Why do I always get that wrong?
Actually,
I always get that
the
one
murder
fucking
couldn't
wrong.
have happened
Oh my
anywhere
god.
near 10
I
o'clock.
get confused.
It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How
Christ
dare you
almighty.
say such a decent word!
You're the one telling me these words!
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
Haven't we known this for
Really
forever
think it
that
wasn't
she's
the
wacko?
sprinkler? You'd better tell us why!
I need to prove that wasn't sprinklers that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence. That should do it. Bullet time battle! We have to get it over at some point!
I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I'm right about this. I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. No! That's enough! Are you trying to blame me? How can you say it wasn't the sprinkler?
This should prove
Yeah,
it.
wrong one! The brain! Brain! Dying brain!
Just remember
Oh,
what the
God.
body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Guy.
The top half of the body was wet, yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
What the fuck are you thinking about?
sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because... while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But only the part on fire, the top half.
Oh, then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
So if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Makoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
So there's no way Makoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Well,
In which case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... You know, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered someone
I'd
that's...
just like to say one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
Huh?
So are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me? Stop wasting time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
If she had a motive and no alibi, well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's
Oh, boy.
explanation is still insufficient.
Yeah.
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would take is covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
Yay, time to convict ourselves! Certain something used to cover the body. A tarp.
You're talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Makoto just gave us.
Kyoko, say that. Why does she want to make me look like the killer? I can't think about that right now. That tarp. It was used to wake Kyoko said. Tarp meant to touch the body, right? But the body...
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's moving. I don't do something. I don't think I'm the killer. I have to see what Kyoko said. Bum.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
Hold on.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Hero might actually be right. I'm shooting that fucking down. That's be included in tarp somewhere. I am not letting Hero be right.
Covering the killer prevents.
So the reason that
I will not let Hero be right.
it was totally
Oh my god.
that side, since it was face, of course.
It didn't get dirty.
No, that's wrong. Hero, you're not right. Don't let him be right.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
Bum.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? Blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
You got blood from right there in the garden, right? In which case it must mean... They got the chicken!
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood? Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
That is very odd!
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping... What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, At the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they've already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
Yeah.
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did
Oh,
you
boy.
two stay together from that point on?
Oh no. I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
Oh boy.
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
And suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to trap me? I don't understand.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square
I
one.
remember that new truth bullet.
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Against the ultimate lucky student, that's not exactly a great idea,
See?
sir.
Pretty good idea, right?
I mean, it's good for me.
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right? According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
Right.
So, what about it?
All the way through.
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Listen, more important. Now we get a knife. What are we going to do with it? Yeah, let Toko keep that for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Me?
It's the knife we gave to Makoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I couldn't be sure what actually happened last night. Thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
Use the new truth bullet, I believe.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once? That automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Makoto.
I use that knife to kill Muguro. No, there's no way.
The knife we found, it's the same one. It really is, isn't it?
If he did have that seals it. Just because I had that automatic... Well...
Getting stabbed is...
No,
No, that's wrong.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, Don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp and then put the bloody coat on it, right?
Oh, yep.
In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
If they don't stab twice in the same spot, there's no way that's possible. Single stab.
I got it! The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Then the knife...
Was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kinda goes back to the beginning, but... what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic-level spontaneous combustion!
Oh my god, someone help!
Dumb.
Help with your dumbass! Oh my god!
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Tell him, Makoto! Do all the fucking work, even though you're one of the main suspects.
I got it!
Fucking hell.
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something
It's
like
supposed to look like the bomb, but
That's only
not.
natural.
They feel a
Because,
little
of
off.
course.
I don't know, this piece looks a little fucking off.
We saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma.
There's something about that.
Part of a bomb.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like the end of the bomb here, but the piece isn't exactly.
And the explosion was because of
I don't know, it looks a little off.
Anyway,
Some different
the
a little off.
culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect, you, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine, I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. We need to concentrate. Here we go!
Then, shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. I guess.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, The victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
I can only think of one thing that could kill her.
Then shall we continue? The victim's
Fatal injury.
No, that's wrong.
Stop the thing now. Don't.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body? They didn't have anything to do with it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
I don't know.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
Oh my god.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
Could I blame her? I don't know who could blame
I'd love
her.
to scoop out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground, and spit on it.
Okay.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
What the fuck is this conversation?
Seriously?
What the fuck was that
We
conversation?
want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
So what was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Makoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Real murder weapon. Oh, where is it?
I got
There
it!
it is.
Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something, and that's what killed her. And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
An arrow? That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kinda weird.
Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right!
I'm not back-talking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
Don't blame me for doubting it, because there's one more thing about the weapon. One more secret. Yeah.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker, right? I have no doubt that was the murder weapon.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced. What's the problem?
Well, because in the Monokuma file, it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal pipe, right? It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Talking back to Master! You have no right!
There's no doubt that the arrow's a murder weapon, but there's more to it than that.
The titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound.
Well, it said the weapon must. It seems like an arrow.
No,
No, that's wrong. There we go.
you're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another weapon?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled-up wad of duct tape. The killer probably uses duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks.
Go back to the literary all-star.
One stick is weak,
Stuff.
but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
Damn, that's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
I don't think he was.
Anyway, that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
Lies.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
She was
How can you
definitely
say that with such confidence?
there during the investigation.
Because
to the
we
new
have
floor.
proof, of course. Don't we, Makoto? What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to. The death of us all, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence. Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is... right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the
There's
puzzle.
a big contradiction there,
Your
Byakuya.
non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Makoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit. You can't explain this away, so just give up.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, there's
Not
a
this
fucking
again.
contradiction.
You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just... there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
I was just protecting you.
What?
He was protecting me? Does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue. Could that be when... which would mean that Kyoko, she killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
Really? But you should know
know
better
better than
anyone I
anyone.
didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
I should know?
What? Becky should know better than anyone. What does that mean?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya, what are you hiding?
Master would never hide something from me!
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You stated a theory earlier. You said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo locker, and then left the locker key in my own room, correct? But could I really have done that?
The game, like, slowed down for a moment. That was odd. Becky should know that Kyoko didn't do it, but why him?
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand. Master would never.
There's
Proof that you aren't.
No, that's wrong!
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room,
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
it would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
No, that's not actually true. There's a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this isn't like her. Trying to save herself is such a desperate lie. Does she really feel that threat? Is she the killer? Or there's something else? There's some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier. Vote for me and I die here. The mystery of the school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind played for us. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind's trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose it. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap? Spend all your time trying to avoid danger and never move forward. You know danger that risk means solving the mystery and no choice. Am I wrong? What do I do? I decide right here and now where not to expose Kyoko's lie. So if I do decide to split this part anywhere, it's gonna be right here. Okay? And if I don't, well, okay. And if I do, then welcome back. Hello, everybody. It's time to decide where not to put Kyoko's eye. Which is, I'm just gonna run the fuck away. Now, running away isn't gonna solve anything. I had to show that. Alright, let's pursue the lie.
There was a lie hidden within Kyoko's statement just now.
A lie?
Isn't that right, Kyoko?
You said it. The burden of proof is on you. So let's hear it. Where's this lie, then?
Kyoko is definitely lying, and it must be because there's somewhere deeper truth she wants to keep hidden. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, the baby.
I didn't have the key to my room. Because I'd given it to Byakuya. There's no doubt about that, right?
You are correct.
So I couldn't possibly have gotten into my room.
A lot of white noise.
And when we searched Kyoko's room, how else could the key have gotten there?
Someone other than me must have put it there. That's the only explanation.
Kyoko said it wasn't her who left the key to the locker room, but is that really true?
I didn't have because I'd given it. There's no doubt.
You are correct.
So I couldn't.
Possibly have gotten...
No, that's wrong. No, Kyoko could have gotten into her room. You said so yourself, didn't you, Kyoko?
Actually, to be precise, not quite. I used Monokuma's secret tool, which can open any lock in the school. What?
Monokuma's secret tool?
Kyoko stole it from the headmaster's room. It lets you get into any room in the school. Which means she could have used it to get into her own room.
Then I guess that's it.
You're giving up just like that? You admit to killing...
No, I'm simply recognizing that I lost.
What are you talking about?
Like I said, this was a trap, and I wasn't able to escape it. So I lost. That's all this means.
Huh? Then, are you saying you really didn't... Kyoko, you really aren't the killer?
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
I'm sorry to say, but your time is up! All done, all finished. The class trial is all over.
But that's ridiculous! Since when is there any...
It's because you were late.
I don't like
Trial
Kyoko's
started
late.
and time ran out. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you. But I guess we already know who the blackened is, don't we?
Good job, you got it right! Brilliantly right! We got it right. Does that mean Kyoko really is the killer? But something strange is going on here. There's something wrong with this whole class trial. Kyoko!
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment!
Extra special punishment this time, everyone ready? Okay then!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
And that's how last trial Mukuro Kasaba came to an end. I still have to wonder whether Kyoko is actually innocent or... Regardless, the truth was lost forever. Even for me. I just stopped thinking about it. That was the end of Mukuro's class trial. In the end, it proved to be our last class trial. Once that case was over, there was never a single murder Hope speak ever again. We obtained peace in exchange for lives with all the others. I guess Yasuhiro's thing came true, is one prediction. Peace, but only inside the school. Peace, but only for us. That was the only hope we had. Hope. Hope. Hope? This is hope. Ah, God.
No! This isn't right!
I don't want Yasuhiro's prediction to be true! Go back!
Makoto, why are you staring off into space? Don't you have a rebuttal for Kyoko's claim?
Or delay. That's right, I have to. I suppose Kyoko's a liar or not. And we're back. Yeah, we're not letting Yasuhiro's prediction come true. We're letting it fucking go. I've made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. Yeah, I definitely wanted to show that. No way she would kill someone. That'd be some secret here. Some that it was a mastermind trap that Kyoko mentioned. Yeah,
Well,
that was
does no
the
one
bad
have a
ending.
rebuttal?
That was the bad ending, by the way.
You decided to accept her assertion as fact.
At least they just take you back here.
I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
But of course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
Well, someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
What?
It had to be Makoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second!
Wait a fucking second!
Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
Huh? A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead, and then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Huh?
Time's up! Class trial's all over!
You little fuck!
Stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
Well, that's a new
What do
strike.
you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's because you were late! So
Hey, look, this
push
one
back
actually
the
makes
start
sense
time.
now. At least you're responding to Kyoko.
So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Now, who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Fuck you too, Monokuma. What? You think I'm the killer? Alright, man.
Sorry.
Sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job.
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I know that's not true. None of it makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
Makes perfect sense. Same as always, and just like all the Arclight trials, I'm gonna end it the same way.
Chills!
My favorite possibly the punishment that you might get hit with a copyright strike for, because this is a thing in the anime I hear. A ton of people get hit with copyright strikes thanks to this punishment. Oh, wait, why do I? Kyoko.
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
What's this? What's going on? What's that? Yeah, it had to be. Alter ego. Alter ego? This is too far for that stupid guy. The planet invaded my network! Even though I don't believe this.
It would seem...
You finally made miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you already won? I barely felt the thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it, it's on Makoto. Maybe you didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. The way the garbage tube fit, the way that's an even better special punishment. That's not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I took over the spirit of the rest of you. Bring the spirit to the entire world. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? What the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay, we're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind who got ensnared.
What did you say?
What are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. And the only reason Makoto survived and Kyoko didn't is because he's the ultimate lucky student whose fine luck has saved his ass. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in the bustling urban area. It's like the school stands in the center of the entire world. Plus the Academy. It brings in top students from every field math and most government-funded school privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. Hundreds of years of tradition and sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. They built their hope in the nation's future. It makes Hope Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student can enroll you. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing here at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students, me. What? Where am I? I got my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? I'm in a classroom I've never been in before. What the heck is going on? Ugh. Finally, I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was that just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare. No, it's in the dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with a bare stand of lights sleeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. Must be some kind of underground garbage pit. Heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there until I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. After all my good friend went through to save me. And all too well what had happened. After Rico saved me, he used up the last little bit of his strength to do it. So I can't give up now. Myself and for my friend. That my pursuit of survival began. First was to start looking for a way out of there. That's a rocket in a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. It's locked. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. I'm not getting out of here anytime soon. I decided to look around for some food. There's plenty of food here, it's all rotten. I'll find this too. Next I search for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. Felt like I'm blocked in on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. I made that proud declaration. Next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. Can't be sure, but I think at least a full day after it passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched the pile of garbage jostle and form not safe, did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I quickly took my hand out for whatever it was that had come in contact with me.
Just a second.
A giant piece of trash. Rude. Before she even emerged from a pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells...
This place smells
awful.
Kyoko!
Indeed.
Look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here?
So...
It's obvious. I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair? She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash and face me again.
Hey.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We could talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. And seconded it in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. I really hit the spot. I got all the energy I need to keep going. You still haven't given up then? Of course not. I After all, the fact that I can keep moving forward is all I'm good about all I'm good at. And that's such a bad thing to be good at. But Kyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
So...
Pay a debt. Or no, to a town. A town.
You...
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything. In this timeline, at least. Let's ignore the other timeline. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you. Don't say that. You didn't abandon me. No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However...
But listen, not that I'm trying to make excuses, but there's a reason I had to survive no matter the cost. Why did you have to survive?
It's true.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive...
In other words...
is so I could do what I came to this school to do. What? I made up my mind to come to OSP Academy for one very important reason. So you have some reason for coming to OSP.
Indeed.
That's right, at least I did once. Once? Till recently, I'd forgotten what it was. You forgot, but that's... I had no memory of what my purpose was. No memory, that's impossible. Amnesia? Then is it really true? You lost your memory.
Makoto.
You remember Makoto? Remember the first thing that happened to each of us since we arrived at school? First thing. Talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem...
Thinking back on now, at that point my memory was gone. That time I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to this school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was. But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
It's strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seemed much too convenient. Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think I'm positive of the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory. Why do they want to do that? The only reason I could come up with, because of my purpose and my abilities, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans. Mastermind just stole them from you?
However...
It also means somehow my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time. What you say is true. Why didn't you have to rest up to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, Mastermind would have known right away. Plus, always a chance the Mastermind is actually one of us. What?
Correct.
But I mean, too big a deal, but it's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right? Mastermind one of us. If you believe that, then of course you couldn't trust anyone around her. Which it only makes sense that she was looking for a missing memory by herself.
However...
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me. Why me? Because among everyone, you're the least likely to be the mastermind. That's just intuition, but... I see. Your intuition's right, though. No way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I... understand. I should... understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's... to stay here.
It's just like the dream I had before, but... why'd that just happen?
Listen.
Are you okay? Yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey.
Even now, I still trust you, you know? I'm just not used to relying on others.
Correct.
I know I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced. Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just your personality. You said you had a reason doing all that investigating on your own. How'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So...
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least. Something I would call my purpose and my ability. You mentioned your ability. My ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. I can finally say it! God yeah, I've been waiting this whole fucking game to say it. The ultimate detective.
Correct.
The reason I came to Havoc Academy, there was someone I had to find here in school. You had to find someone who?
So...
Well, it was the headmaster of Havoc Academy. The headmaster? Why do you want to find the headmaster? Because he's my father. What?
In other words...
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he'd become the headmaster of Host Peak. Yoko's dad. Is Host Peak headmaster? And that explains when Dr. Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved. I'll find a way. Huh? No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
No matter what?
No matter the cost.
So,
Kyoko, what's going on? My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. Makes perfect sense now, of course. My whole purpose for coming here was to find him. That makes sense. Listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said I felt based on what I seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room. And what did you see in there?
So...
The room had been ransacked. Shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion that someone who didn't know where anything was had been in there. You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicions, I decided to investigate the second floor dorms using the key I found. Why there? Because I also found this in the headmaster's room. This is some kind of map.
Indeed.
It's the layout of the entirety of Oaks Academy. Found in the headmaster's room along with the girl's profile on that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that were true, that room would likely hold more clues, so I went to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. Remember that my purpose was to find the owner of that room. You understood the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
Once I got there, I noticed the second floor dorms didn't have any cameras or monitors. So what was that like? That part of the school, I mean. It's hard to describe. All I could say is, when I saw it, I realized what's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined. What do you mean?
So...
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon. Sounds like it must be important. And really ominous.
However...
Of course, once I got a second floor dorm, there were no cameras and no monitors. I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building. I knew Mukuro Kasada,
However...
Let's be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her. I know it wasn't you either. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me are now by, so then who did kill her?
Anyway...
Safe assures that the mastermind is directly involved. Again, with the point of this class trial, Mukuro Kasada was to get me killed. Get you killed.
Indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared. In retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial. It was. Mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly. And because of school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
In other words...
Mastermind's adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. If they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use that class trial to do it. Mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. It makes it sound like Mastermind himself is somehow bound by school regulations.
Hey.
One other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Kasada. What's that? The point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Mikado. I could have become the victim?
Indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? You mean... During the night. I can hear them, you know. Footsteps of the god Death. What? I can hear the god Death as he moves. That building naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway...
Which is exactly what happened with you. I was in a dorm, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell. I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw a shadow go into your room.
Correct.
I ran to your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However...
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to... Whoever the masked assailant was, they ended up dead.
Correct.
And their murder was disguised, and Dojo Key wound up in my room. I'll get to work with a mastermind. I intend to use the class trial to eliminate me. It also means that whoever killed Mukuro was also a mastermind,
Indeed.
Right? I don't conclude that until that's what I think. That's really that true. I think the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but then that created another contradiction. After I wanted to use the class trial, I can kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
Alright, that is a contradiction. I'm just Mukuro. They need the class trial to kill me, but seem ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction. What does it all mean?
In other words...
I think the mastermind is the one who's been calling. Huh?
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more, I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair. The other ultimate despair? No doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person. It's not?
Indeed.
Think about the ultimate despair seems to imitate whoever caused that event. You're talking about...
That's right.
What happened a year ago, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. The tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
It would seem...
A despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair. Then they're...
Indeed.
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that's forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy.